What's up, everybody? Time for another video. This is part of the series of 10 movies in 10 days, where I've decided to take 10 movies from my collection that I have seen before but don't remember anything about. And they could be new movies, they could be old movies. I just picked 10 random ones, and we're going to look at that in a minute. But before we get started, I do want to thank you all for checking out my videos. Hopefully you've seen the others in this series, and then I do a couple other things. Trying to find a way to embrace my physical media collection more, my DVDs, my Blu-rays, and I'm dabbling in 4K, and I'm just trying to find a way to help me dive into it more, talk about it. I've been collecting these things for a really long time, and I never got rid of my movies collection. And all the things that have come and gone, I got rid of records early on, which I regret. I never really got rid of CDs. I always kept on to this. I've always been someone that likes the physical versions, although in today's world it's getting harder and harder to do that just because it's not as practical. Cars aren't coming with CD players anymore. It's a whole thing. But anyway, we're here to talk about Blu-rays and movies and things like that. So if you are new here, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe. If you are returning, I also encourage you to hit that like and subscribe. I'm trying to post a video every day, especially for this series, 10 movies in 10 days. But I'm trying to post content more regularly. I want to engage with people about physical media and their collection, things like that. So without any further ado, I guess today we're going to talk about The Perfect Storm. This is part of a 3-pack that I have with Twister, the original Poseidon, Perfect Storm. I didn't watch the other 2 yet. That's not part of this series, but I haven't watched Perfect Storm in a very long time. I think since it came out in the theater, and as of this recording, Perfect Storm is almost exactly 25 years old. It was released in the summer of 2000 on July 2nd, and it had a $140 million budget. It made about just shy of $200 million. So it didn't do very well at the box office. The opening weekend was $41 million, which I guess is a great box office opening. The movie stars George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg and a very stunning Diane Lane, who I absolutely adore. I refer to it as a disaster movie. It's based on a true story that took place in 1991 and about a group of fishermen out of the Boston area, and they get caught in what is considered the perfect storm. They're on a fishing ship called the Andrea Gail. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but the movie is 20 years old. There's always a lot of speculation in what really happened because of the events of the movie. There's not a lot of people that were alive to speak of the true events and what really happened. So I believe the third act is completely sort of improvised for dramatic purposes. I mean, it's the artist's interpretation of what happened. It is directed by Wolfgang Petersen. Yes, Wolfgang Petersen, who is a phenomenal filmmaker from, it seemed like a whole different millennia of filmmakers. With it being 25 years old, it was the very early stages of crafting digital effects, practical effects. So there's a lot of parts of the sea that are all computer generated, and for water digital effects from 25 years ago, they look pretty good, but you could definitely tell they are digital effects, but they meld the blend of the practical very well, I have to say. The scenes where the boat's taking on water, and it's very intense. I believe the last act of the movie is completely water drenched and soaked, and does a really good job of showing you what these people went through. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. It takes a while to get going, but that's because they're trying to set up all the characters and make sure you get to care for them and things like that. It is very much, I use this term a lot, and I think a lot of movies are just like this. It's a product of its time. The dramatic nature of the movie is something that I think we're kind of jaded as a movie-going people now. It might be considered melodramatic or overly dramatic in some spots, but I found it to be a very good movie. It still holds up in my opinion. It's another one of those movies where I think I say this too often in my reviews, and that might be just a reflection of my age, but they don't make movies like this anymore. I firmly believe we're too jaded as a people to appreciate sort of the more dramatic moments that used to happen in movies that now we kind of laugh at or something. I don't know. And then also with these movies that I'm watching, you can really tell how much like the comic book movie has taken over, because, and I love those movies. I have a huge collection of the Marvel movies, and I'm starting to get the older DC movies. And I love that stuff, but you could definitely tell how it's almost too much. Like, we don't get a lot of movies like this anymore. And maybe we do, actually. It's a lot of times they just don't get they're not as high profile. But I liked it. I know Mark Wahlberg is a polarizing figure. I don't have that issue with him. I like a lot of his movies. He plays a guy with a Boston accent, which sort of fits his whole thing. George Clooney is in it. He is pretty much the captain of this whole thing, and does a fine job. Everyone in it is very good. Diane Lane is very good in it. Diane Lane is very good in it. From what I understand, this was her highest grossing movie she'd ever been in, and this movie pushed her into the spotlight, where she had a big string of hits in the early 2000s based on the success of this movie. So that's very nice. And all in all, it's very good. Very, very dramatic. The scenes on the boat when the weather starts to turn are very intense. It does kind of fall into you've seen it now a bunch of times, done a little bit better. This being a sort of a smallish town personal story that is based in fact, gives it some nice levity to it, and I did find it enjoyable. Highly recommend it if you've never seen it. If you like disaster films, this particular 3-pack, I don't even know where I got this, but Twister and Poseidon, two also very good movies. Poseidon I've never actually seen. Yeah, so I just wanted to give a thumbs up to Perfect Storm. What did you think about it? Have you seen it? Do you care? Yes, so please like, comment, and subscribe if you've made it this far. Please share this video with other physical media enthusiasts. Please sound off in the comments below. What movies do you view are highly rewatchable? What did you add to your collection? Let's start a dialogue about physical media and what do you like, what do you don't like. What are you doing to rely more on what you own versus just pulling it up on streaming? Or does any of this not make any sense to you and you'd rather just stream the heck out of everything? Which I don't judge. I get the convenience of streaming. I've always been more of a wanting to own this type of stuff. I'm a self-professed movie guy. I really only want to own things I'm going to rewatch later, so there's a lot of things in here that, I don't know, maybe in the course of doing these videos, I'll weed them out and I'll lighten up the collection. So, yes, that's it. Perfect Storm. It's a good movie, still holds up. To me, you don't judge quality of a movie based on the technology involved in making it. Like, obviously, the effects are way better now than they were back then, but the melding of some early CGI with practical effects and practical sets is very well done. It's crafted by a filmmaker that knows more than capable of crafting a movie like this. It has terror, it has fear, it feels like it touches on the every person thing versus being a superhero movie or too far-fetched. Like, it's highly relatable characters. Mark Wahlberg is really good in it. George Clooney is really good in it. Diane Lane, very good in it. So yes, so thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for future videos. I hope to catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.